Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Triforce Tactics Podcast. This is episode 26, and I'm your host, SpicyAppies. I'm joined today with my co-host, Jirachy.
Hi, I'm RamKev.
And RamKev, who is Jirachy, maybe.
I'm taking this section to emphasize that Nubel has sold a 3-star Udyr before.
But
PSA.
That is the most random. I mean, he should be punished for that, but thank you for bringing that to our attention. People, police on their way. You can hear the sirens already. Anyways, a lot going on in the TFT verse right now. We have Innovation Cup this weekend. We have a new patch fresh from this Wednesday, and we have a conversation about coaching today. Before we get into any of that, though, we'll talk about our weeks. My week has been pretty good. All right, let's say that Elden Ring came out, and my week has been half brand reroll, half Elden Ring, and that's all I've done. So I've had a good week. Had a pretty solid week.
How good is Elden Ring? Legit question.
It is. So I'm like 40 hours into it. I just beat the first of like 4 big bosses. I have not had more fun with I love Dark Souls. If you like Dark Souls a lot, then you'll like it. But
I've never played Dark Souls in my life. That's an issue here.
You should.
About slightly better than Cuck Soul Simulator on...
Slightly better.
Yeah.
Slightly better than Cuckold Simulator on Steam. Sure, okay. No.
Oh wait, I should clarify. In Cuckold Simulator, there's a Dark Souls spin-off called Cuck Soul.
Oh, there's Cuck Soul? What? Oh.
Yeah. Funnily enough, this is a total tangent. Funnily enough, Cuck Souls... So the end of Pokemon Legends Arceus, there's a boss fight with the same, like basically the same attack pattern as Cuck Souls. So I first tried it super easily because I was used to the Cuck Souls fight. But yeah, no, I think Elden Ring's super good. So if you're interested in a game that will make you want to pull your hair out sometimes, but also make you feel like super badass for beating people, it is so fun. And there's like hundreds of hours. This is like #@ there's like hundreds of hours of playtime too. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be playing for the next like 2 months probably before I beat it. So. Big recommend. That's my week, though. And Brand. Yeah, Brand is sick. Brand reroll, busted. Gunblade Brand, busted. Sword start, Quick Glove start, Cloak start, Chain start, Brand, every time. Anyways.
I actually haven't played Brand yet. Amazing.
No one is. No one
I played Brand.
Kevin plays Brand. But like you're within the no one category, Kevin, because you don't play what other people play.
Okay, I have a question. Is it hard forceable?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super hard forceable.
If I toy Brand, it's time.
I'm not kidding. I start any item.
You do the Kassadin build?
Oh no! I just Brand. if I have 3 brands on 2-1, I just reroll Brand every time. It's just yeah. I have heard of the Kassadin one.
I've combined 2 forms of technology together to create what I call a tech sandwich. I actually owe this kind of to Dax because Dax was telling me this during PvE. He said, because you can play, there aren't too many reroll Kassadin things going around, but Kassadin's a good unit, so you can do cast reroll, Brand reroll, and you do the classic stick 3 sparks on Kassadin, and all of your other items on Brand works every time.
Did you just say 3 Ionic Sparks?
I saw Kevin playing 2 Spark Kassadin last night, and it was destroying.
I'm apparently way out of the loop.
Well, it makes sense, right? Because look at Braum, for example, has a big mana pool. Cast ults him. He has like 400 mana. Double Spark just kills him on cast.
My favorite is when you stick Kassadin in front of Blitzcrank. And Blitzcrank dies immediately. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll have to try that one. No, I've just been like, if I have enough brands, I have played so many different variations of it. I won a game on Brand 2 because I was playing 4 Bodyguard Brand 2, and there were like 2 Twitch rerollers and like 2 Irelia players, and they couldn't kill the bodyguards at Brand 2 and just fuck them off. That unit is so broken. I love it.
Also, I think all of the VIP units are kind of
schnasty. I think Syndra
broken beyond belief.
I low-key feel like Syndra, in a vacuum, some matchups she does poorly and some matchups she does well in too. Funnily enough, and it's weird that I played against this matchup twice, but she does really poorly into RFC Synaptic Web Kha'Zix with 7 mutants. She does really poorly into that because she can't grab it. She just jumps too much.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But I think she's she's, in my opinion, like 3-star Syndra is one of the highest cap comps in the game because like you beat 2-star 5 costs for free because they can't move.
Yeah. Plus, like all of the it's very VIP. That one's golden, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And
yes.
Which one's what's it called?
Something charm? Irresistible charm. Yeah, that is. If you see that on 1-4,
how?
I don't know.
How is that silver?
If you see that on 1-4, I think it's correct to force Debonair no matter what your items are, no matter what your start is. If you see that, it gives you Leona.
What are you? What?
It gives you Leona too.
Why do you get a Leona? Like okay.
You get a Leona that just takes 20% less damage. Yeah, you cannot see the Debonair until stage 3 and still have a really strong board.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like all of the like Debonair's trait specific augments are so crazy busted. Like I had very VIP, right? And I was carrying like, the worst itemized Draven you've ever seen, and then I pivoted to and it was like hard win streaking, and then I pivoted to Zeri, and she got like 7k health. She got like 7k health by the end of the fight, which is, in case you didn't realize, Cho'Gath will never be able to hit 7k health anymore. Cho'Gath gets no health.
Yeah, no, Cho'Gath is so sad.
Like, why does my Zeri have more health than Cho'Gath?
Before we get into meta stuff, how have your weeks been? We can start with Jirachy. How's your week been?
I'm on spring break and I've done like no schoolwork and it feels so good.
Nice.
Okay.
God, I am stressed. I was stressed before. Actually, I'm still stressed, but like I got a week off. I finally have been getting to play some TFT. I hit Challenger Tuesday.
I saw that.
Fucking finally. I spent like I think exactly 2 days in all of set 6 in Challenger. I've already surpassed that in set 6.5 and hit there the first patch, so I'm like, okay. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Cool, I can just like limit test and study and yay. Sure.
There you go. Oh yeah. How have you been, Kevin?
I've been good. What have I been doing? I can't. Oh no. Everything's a blur. Everything's actually a blur.
Think it through. You got this.
Oh my god, what it's alright. Oh my god. No. I figured it out. I've been reading a lot recently. But not books, because I never read books. I've been I've been reading a lot of bad fan fiction.
Wait, of what fan fiction?
Bad fan fiction.
Oh, bad fan fiction.
Oh my god.
Of like anything in particular?
Of anything I could get my hands on. And it screwed up my sleep schedule like completely.
Oh no.
Because like I'll be reading this shit and it'll be like 5 a.m. or like 6 a.m. and I'll be like, oh no. This is not okay. No. But it's okay because my research meeting for this week got canceled, so I became a complete degenerate.
Oh, we take those. Any like example of what series fan fiction?
Yeah. I've been reading some Harry Potter, which is like not, don't support J.K. Rowling, folks, but fanfics. That's slightly different because nobody makes money off of that.
Well, except for what's her face that wrote 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, wait, is that fan fiction?
It's a Twilight fan fiction.
It's a Twilight fanfic.
That's insane.
Yeah. I've been getting into some Arcane. We've been delving into the
Slicko from Arcane?
Slicko fan fiction?
Arcane realm.
Oh god, please. Oh god.
A new well, I guess it's not really, it's more like League of Legends.
Well,
But
Silco fanfiction is Arcane specific. Actually, no, it's
It's
TFT
true.
specific.
Exactly, because
TFT.
Silco originated from TFT and then went to
Yes.
Arcane. Spread the narrative.
Silco
Anyone
from
listening?
TFT in Arcane.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes, that is where he originated, where he will stay. So,
But it's been fun. It's been and I've played TFT a lot, like a lot of TFT.
that's a good week, just TFT and fanfiction.
Yeah.
I've read one fanfiction, and it was in high school. And one of my friends, we were driving, and he handed me the phone. I was like 3 or 4 people in the car. He handed me the phone. He said, "Read this." And it was Animal Crossing fan fiction, but it was like erotic Animal Crossing fan fiction, and it was the most far out thing I think I've. It was like I was in a. I feel like I was hallucinating reading it. It was an experience.
I've had even crazy, like, I've had friends that have written fan fictions about people that I've known.
Okay,
Oh,
that's too much. Fanfiction about real people is like fanfiction about real people and shipping real people are too much. No.
Yeah.
That's like
but
I agree with that.
It was so, but it's one of those things where it's so ridiculous and you're like, oh my god, man, like, who thinks of this stuff?
All right, fuck it. I'm gonna write a Kevin Udier fan fiction.
Oh my gosh, I would be so down to read that.
Anyways, moving on. So we have three topics.
We've
today.
gotten into
Far
the
down
sus
rabbit
shit
hole.
apparently.
Yes. We have 3 topics today, and I know where I think we should start, and we can gauge the interest when we want to start. So we can talk about Innovator Cup, the meta, and the patch, and we can talk about coaching. I think we should save coaching for last. I want to start with the patch because we already started talking about reroll stuff. If you guys are down,
I'm down.
There's so much reroll shit everywhere. Like seriously.
Yes.
Like I mean, I'm being a Talon degen to exactly no one's surprise, but also Ashe.
I've seen Ashe popping off recently.
Why is Ashe is way too good.
I mean, they buffed her when I don't think they should have.
Nerfs a bunch of other stuff was probably already enough to get Ashe into the meta, but she feels like the best comp right now.
What do you run on her? I haven't played her yet.
Oh, it's just syndicates.
AD.
It's
Syndicates.
like, AD syndicates, and then
Just like
it's really easy
vertical.
to fit Jhin and Orianna in, right? Because you have snipers and you have clockwork and you have enchanters, all put in one.
You run, was it like 5 syndicates plus Origin plus 1, and that plus 1 can either be a 7th syndicate when you have a syndicate heart or something, or probably just like another enchanter,
Yeah.
or Slicko from Arcane.
Does she do damage?
Oh, she does damage.
Ashe does damage.
She does damage?
She does the big deeps.
I know.
Do you just go like a bunch of AD? Or I'm so confused on how she does damage.
Yeah, it's pretty much just AD.
She just hits everything and they all die, basically.
I think they buffed her 1 and 2 start also, so like she stabilizes even harder on 3-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is part of it.
But I think the big thing is like you don't have to build healing on her because she's syndicate. You don't really need Rage Blade. I think a lot of people I think like the core, like the one item you really want is like a Last Whisper, and then just dump a bunch of damage on her and watch her go.
I still think you want IE Last Whisper. I still think IE Last Whisper is the best AD item build. The last one, I mean, it can be like Deathblade, Ginsu's Giant Slayer, kind of whatever. I feel like
I've heard RFC extends her arrow range.
That would make sense. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
The way that it works is her arrow range is like 1 more than her attack range, I think.
And can
at least that they changed
times?
that.
Can 2 arrows hit 1 person or no?
I think it does.
I feel like we're trying to like.
That's a good question. I remember reading about this before. I thought it did like reduce damage or something. Maybe it doesn't. Let's see. Volley of arrows, 100% AD, slowing their attack speed.
So she just auto attacks everyone basically.
I have literally no idea.
Maybe it's
geometrically
geometrically impossible to hit the same unit more than once. I don't know. If it goes to like 1 hex per,
I mean, you think that
too much math. There's too much math.
I guess so. I've also heard that it pierces, which I didn't think it did. It's like it just right, like it goes through people, like it hit someone behind someone else. Am I wrong with that? Does an arrow stop when it hits someone?
I think it stops.
So. Yes.
I'm pretty sure it stops.
Does it stop?
Yeah.
I'm so confused how this unit works. I have not touched her.
I think all of us
you
are.
have
Don't
to know
worry.
is that she does damage, and she does a lot of damage, and it's real gross.
Okay.
I just remember, like, there are games where I'll get Sniper's Nest. Boom, take it. Put Ash over here. Sit her down. And just, like, wait for my top 4 to roll. And,
let her do her thing. Okay.
Just let her do her thing.
Well, moving on from Ash, Jirachy said they were playing a ton of Talon right now. How is that going?
Kind of hit or miss, but also like there's a lot to Talon that I haven't quite figured out. It's aka positioning. I'm also not 100% sure you need RFC. Weirdly enough.
I've top forward without RFC Talon.
I feel like you don't need RFC. Yeah.
I've seen kind of Gunblade as well.
I think you 100% go Infinity Edge and Hand of Justice. Actually, I think those are your 2 priorities. The RFC is kind of secondary. Weirdly enough, I don't know because obviously you need Infinity Edge because he's an assassin. Hand of Justice. I think QSS is kind of fake because he really likes sustain, and Enforcer is kind of a fake trait right now because it's so short.
Yeah, so, 2 Enforcers are so short.
2 Enforcers short enough that, like, I mean, like, it kind of sucks getting enforced, but it's whatever. So, like, I feel like Infinity Edge, Hand of Justice are the prios.
I don't like when Talon gets enforced, but it's more so for positioning.
I mean, I don't either, yeah.
Talon doesn't jump, it's a little bit awkward if you're, like...
Yeah.
You know... If they're playing front to back and you don't jump, and all of a sudden you're like hitting a Braum or something.
Yeah.
Is the build Is the build IE Hodge QSS?
I mean, it sounds good. How do you feel about Gunblade? I've seen Gunblade a lot recently.
Ooh, maybe it's Gunblade.
I mean, Gunblade is... I think I had one game I just played decap Gunblade RFC and stacked a bunch of chalices.
That sounds pretty good.
Wasn't bad.
I won a game on like Double Trouble Talon with RFC Gunblade, and it felt good. But it's also Double Trouble before the nerf, and Double Trouble was beyond broken. I'm sure it's still really broken, but
yeah,
Double Trouble is just like disgusting. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of builds for Talon.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like almost you can just make a Gunblade or start Rod, and then play around, like pick up every Debonair unit, every Deboner, and just succeed.
Or Ari.
Ari's a great out for if you have an opener, you can play Brand. You just play Ari if you can't find Brand.
Did we just find the tech?
I mean, I feel like Gunblade is a really great item already. Like, I feel like if you're not there are so many units that can use it well. You can put it on all of the twin shots besides Gangplank and Jinx, and the twin shots are kind of broken. Real secret tech.
Jinx is good right now. Jinx
broken.
does some work. I think 5 Innovator Jinx is also insane. Like 5 Innovator Force Grab Jinx feels really good. I will say, Josh, if you look at my match history right now, the tech is basically just my match. I have Gunblade playing 19 out of 20 games, and all I do is flex like Brand.
BRB, I'm checking. Okay. SpicyAppies.
I've been testing a lot of 6 Arcanist pivots, but every game I play Brand, for example, I think I'm the worst I've done playing Brand reroll is 3rd, and I generally go like 2nd or 1st every single game.
You don't care about blue buff on him, and
dude, there's a couple games. So there's 2 techs. If you have blue battery, if you have silver blue battery, you force it no matter what because it's a 1 auto cast the same as blue buff on him, and your silver augment's basically a prismatic augment at that point. So you always force Brand, in my opinion, if you have blue battery and like Rod. And then there was one game today where I got third with it. I just never have found a tier the whole game. I had like backfoot plus two, like plus a Zeeks or two, and I just went Gunblade, IEJG brand, and I almost beat like a Jace 2, Jinx 2. Like it was I got like 3 sword drops, I think, off of. I think I started sword and I got 3 sword drops over the course of the game. So I was like, okay, I guess my game's doomed. But no, I was still a top 4 just because Brand is a Chad, an absolute Chad of a unit.
I am learning.
He's
okay,
gross.
I'm 2020 Brand. Okay, I'm loading up. We're gonna go play Brand right now. That's not true.
With Spark Cassidon, don't forget.
Okay. Noted.
You with Spark Cassidon?
With Spark Cassidon. I mean, I played a Brand game.
I haven't
today,
tried it with
was
Cassidon
like,
yet.
I AFK'd at 80 HP and straight up didn't lose a single round after that.
I think Brand is such a high cap. I can't stop talking about this unit because he's a 1 cost that no one's playing right now. We need to make sure this episode doesn't go live until tomorrow night, like after the tournament starts. But he's a 1 cost that like no one plays. He's very uncontested. He's like you're gonna hit the VIP Brand if you're rolling, like you will hit VIP Brand, right? There's so many different situations to make him work, and his comp. If you look at my match history playing Brand, I play 3-star Brand with different units almost every time I play him because you can just like more than any other unit almost you can just play whatever you want with him. You can just match the lobby. So if AD heavy lobby, you play 4 bodyguard, you win. You know, you need a fast paced board for your lobby. You play 5 debonair, like 4 to 6 arcanists, have a ton of AP, you just win because you kill everything before they kill you. If you have a bunch of assassins, you just play 2 bodyguard and like 3 debonair, 4 arcanists, whatever, and they get taunted. The sins just die. Like Brand beats Talon super consistently, like super consistently, even with QSS on Talon because he just kills him in like 2 hits.
Yeah. Oh no, and anything that's like target the closest thing is always going to be good to assassins.
Yeah,
but
he does lose pretty hard to Syndra, in my opinion.
I assume he also loses decently hard to like Zeri.
With Gunblade, he actually just heals through Zeri a lot of the time. He heals so much.
Because in my opinion, Zeri is like the best 5 cost.
Really? I haven't played like much Zeri at all recently.
Zeri does feel really good.
Does she feel good?
I feel like I haven't played her, but I feel like every time I go into her, she wrecks me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that. Like you have like your fucking Draven 3 cornered and then Zeri just kills him.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if I were to go into my stats and look at my Zeri stats, my average placement would probably be first. That unit is like...
I feel like if you're in a spot to play her, then you can win the game almost every time.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm having a tough time finding the spot to play her a lot of the time right now, is my thing.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of reminds me of like Akshan in set 5.5 in the sense that like you can never really plan on playing it, but like if you get into it, it's like the most busted thing you've ever seen. Have you seen Silco Juice Zeri?
I have.
She is gross. You just see her ulti just like non-stop flying across the entire board. You're like, oh my god, this should not be okay.
That does sound insane. I've been when the patch first dropped, Silco got nerfed. This was actually last patch. Silco got nerfed from 8 seconds to 6 seconds, right? In terms of how long the unit stays alive before they blow up. And I was unsure because he was really broken before. And then I was like, I don't know how good this unit is, but I've been playing a lot today in particular. He feels really good still in the right spots.
He's still busted. He's still
I think the last game I played, I was playing like 5 Innovator. I was level 9 with like 2 Jinx 2s as my carries and a Silco. And as long as he hit one of the Jinxes, I just won the round no matter what. Like as long as he juiced one of the Jinxes.
I feel like, if you're looking to play Scholar ever, you play Silco when you can. Like, if you have a Renata on your board and it's not like a carry, and you're using her as like a Scholar buff, and you find one Silco, I feel like you just drop the Renata. Like, the only time I would ever imagine where it's not great is like if you're playing some kind of stall mutant board, and you don't want your Cho'Gath to die.
It just blows up. I kind of wish Silco, when he ulted someone, it wasn't based on like it wasn't instead of amount of damage, it was like percent HP, or like there's like a percent HP that scaled with AP, right? So instead of blowing up for like 500 base damage, he blows up for like 100% of their HP or like max HP, stuff like that. He might be too broken, but I think that'd be a cooler way to balance them because right now the explosion is so pointless.
Yeah, it's so sad how pointless the explosion is. But if you happen to 3-star Silco, the explosion does 5k.
What?
Yeah.
That still sounds pretty bad though, because the range is like 2 hexes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. But he explodes 5 units because he ults 5 units.
Oh, does he?
He does.
Doesn't he just lose like any backline carry though, unless you have a Sin? I guess you just play a Sin, like a random Sin, right?
Yeah. I mean, I want to look up all of the numbers on this because maybe they Silco TFT. Let's see. Attack speed goes up to 666%. Oh, it's 10? No, it's 5. It's 5. I checked this. I checked.
Wait, if it's 10, don't you just
5.
lose the game?
I looked today on the in-game tooltip. It's definitely 5. This thing is out.
Jirachy's face right now. For anyone
Just
listening and not
numbers.
watching, their face is like I'm very, very shocked.
I know all of these. I know all of these details that will
Very
never help
welcome.
me in an actual game of TFT until I 3-star Silco, which will happen eventually. I have no doubt in my mind.
I was something else I want to talk about is Yordles. I was one Veigar off from getting Veigar 3 on ladder today, and then I got killed. It was pretty cringe.
Depressed.
Yeah, you know what the thing was though, that
loaded
game.
dice?
It was a loaded dice start. The sad thing about that game was that I accidentally dropped a tier on one of my Vexes, and I had to sell a Vex 1 to get the tier off of her.
No.
And so I had Nico. So I was one off of Veigar.
Oh no. I swear every time I play Yordles, I just kill people too quick. And like
Yep.
I never get to round 7 with Yordles. It's so tragic.
So on the topic of Yordles, I'm gonna drop the other half of the tech. So
God.
what you do is you start tier Rod. If you don't hit Brand,
You just play 6 Yordles on your board.
you just play Yordles.
You lottie die your way to
And you
another
reroll
top
every
four.
game. You play Yordles or Brand, and if you miss both, you play Ari. It's the tech. I mean,
if you miss both and you've already rolled a bunch on 5s, isn't it?
Or isn't like you miss them is like you don't have good openers. Like you take Rod or Tier, you don't have good opener for either of them.
Units to come to you.
Yeah.
Actually, or you could also take Rod and you could play reroll Cassidon with 3 Ionic Sparks.
Or is it like you get, let's say you have Yordles on like 2/2, right? You started Rod. If you don't see like and you got like a 1-star deboner Brand, by the time you don't spend any money, you just kind of see what's going on over the course of your stage 2. You kind of let whatever happen, and then you just say, okay, I have you either have a ton of money and you reroll either Yordles or Brand, or you have a ton of money and you just go 8 for Ari. You like roll in 3/2, get strong, go 8 for Ari, like stabilize on Malzahar. It's good. It's pretty good. AP feels weird in that you can't really play 6 Arcanist super well right now, but there's a lot of angles beyond 6 Arcanist that feel pretty good. So that's the tech. I'm dropping it.
Yeah.
Play Brand. That guy is so broken.
And
That
if
guy
you
is
happen
so
to end up
broken.
with 80 items, just play Twitch.
Yep.
Still. Just keep on playing Twitch.
Is Twitch still good actually? How
yeah,
good is
he's
he
still good.
Okay. Good to know.
He still kills backline. Like if you hit him, I think he's less forceful probably, but if you hit him like on tempo, you're being chilling. You're definitely being chilling.
I had a game yesterday where I just naturaled a bunch of Twitches and I was on level 7. And I had 7 Twitches and I was like, oh, I just played Twitch. And then I rolled all my gold, didn't hit, was 20 HP, hit the Twitch 3, and then I went top 4.
Yeah, Twitch is definitely still a menace. I think, what did he even get nerfed with? He got nerfed in the B
I think
patch.
the AD ratio is on the spell. Probably.
His AD ratio got touched a little bit, yeah.
Was this attack speed touched? I thought his attack speed was touched for some reason.
Let me look it up because I don't fucking read the patch notes enough to actually know them. Twitch. Base damage went down by like it went down by 5 at 3-star and went up by 5 at 1-star.
Oh my god!
Oh wow, it does
Unplayable.
70 damage at 3-star instead of 75.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh my god,
today,
Twitch is fucking unplayable.
one of my boards today was it was 5 innovator, everything 2-starred, with like a backline Jace. I was level 9, pretty good augments, playing 4 scrap, 2 Jinx 2s, both fully itemized,
And your boy Twitch
with good positioning into a Twitch. I almost lost.
Your boy Twitch
3.
comes in and taps on everyone.
Yeah, like Twitch jumped on my with Twitch jumping on top of my Zillion and getting Zillion bombed every fight. I almost lost to Twitch 3.
Honestly, Sins are still really good. Actually, back to fucking Talon. Story time. I've gotten contested like when I've already gone and been like I'm hard forcing Talon. I've gotten contested once. Someone had VIP Talon 2 on 2-5.
Did you send him 8th?
No, I sent him 5th.
Hey!
They rolled down like 4-5, had 6 Talons, and no gold, and I was like, oh, they're fucked. And I only 3-starred Syndra. I had an Assassin Spat Syndra 3, and that was my only 3-star. But I got new recruit and the Sin Spat, and went level 8, and was still carrying Talon 2 the whole time, and got 2nd.
What were the items?
IEGS, Hodge, or QSS. I don't remember which one. No
like that.
RFC Talon. I want to say it was IEGS QSS. Yeah.
Okay. Huh. I almost like Talon more. Okay, I think low key. I feel like if you're, I guess if you have a bunch of bows, you can reroll Talon like swords and stuff. I feel like if you're thinking about playing Deboners, though, let's say you get Irresistible Charm on offered at 1/4, and you take it because it's the most broken augment to get offered at 1/4. I feel like Talon is the weakest of all the reroll comps to like Deboner reroll comps to play.
What about AD? What about AD Leona?
Okay, second weakest of the reroll comps.
What about AP Draven?
AP Draven's not bad.
AP Draven's probably cracked.
What about Tank Draven?
I played Rabadon's Deathblade Draven to like a second the other day.
I actually
good.
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, he does well with AP. I feel like Talon.
Draven is busted. Draven, all of the VIP units are just.
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like Syndra and Brand, if you 3-star them, it's like a guaranteed top 2 most of the time, and they do as much damage as Talon, just like AOE basically, and like Brand they do AOE in CC as well. While Talon just hits one target at a time.
Yeah,
so
the
I'm
one
not
thing
the
about
biggest fan of
Talon is you have to wait for the units to die, and it's like they're going to die. Yeah. You get autoed by Talon and they die, but like you have to in the late game you have to auto 8.
It takes so long.
And it's like,
it takes so long.
My goodness.
The Boner Talon actually does feel way worse than Imperial Talon, because Imperial Talon was just straight up one-shot stab everything.
Mm-hmm.
The Boner Talon takes so much fucking time. I hate it.
Yeah,
and like
it's
time,
like a slow burn.
The thing about like time and assassins, they do not function together. Like assassins just want to kill everything as quick as possible.
Yeah, that's why you're taking Ascension with it.
If assassins are taking time to kill things, something's wrong, and Talon needs time to kill things. So
it feels almost like
fuck Talon. I'm Brand 2020.
Hell yeah! No, another person joins the brand army.
I'm gonna slink back to Twitch reroll forever now. Now that all of the posers have left my beloved Twitch reroll comp.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure every time I don't know what it is now. I rarely when I'm not like 2020ing reroll comps now, but every time I decide to play reroll comp, I don't get contested.
People are trying to play flex. Cringe.
People are trying to play flex, and am I just known for being a fucking degen now? Because I'm starting to think I'm becoming known for being a degen.
I do believe. I mean, I'm down to contest Jirachy every time. You
Okay,
know, if I
here's
have
the
the
thing.
opener, I'll contest
I don't care.
Jirachy.
I don't even care who contests me except for RamKev. RamKev always destroys me whenever he contests.
I've let it be known on Twitter that I am not a
That tweet
pivoter.
was fire.
Everyone has to know I will not pivot off the comp.
Oh, I'm not a pivoter either. I don't care if RamKev's in my lobby. I'm still not, like, once I've decided to play that reroll comp, I'm not pivoting. But if I see RamKev in lobby, it's fucked. Like,
You know what this sounds like? The other day in one of my games, so Frodan is really good at carousel, right? And he came into my chat, we loaded a game together, he came into my chat and said, I'm going to follow you and take your item off starting carousel. And he just followed me around and took my item. And this is what that feels
just
like.
be good at opening carousel.
I don't feel like I'm that bad at it, but I swear Frodan is the single best carousel player in North America.
You gotta flex. You gotta say, I don't care what item I get, and just sit at the starting spot, and then Frodan can't do anything.
What I gotta do is I gotta go for cloak.
You gotta go for cloak and be intentionally slow about it. So they take the cloak, and then you actually go get something else.
Yeah.
But
Till like a
cloak
brand of
is
a tier.
Spark component for your 3-star
Oh my
passive.
god, it is. Fuck, I had a point. ADHD brain. God damn it. I had something I was I'm pretty sure Spencer is one of the best opening carousel players in the server, and I've been beating him on caros now. So
I still haven't bound my hotkey yet. We were talking about it last week. I haven't done anything.
You need to bind the hotkey.
I haven't either.
God. Bind
I haven't either, Kevin.
What the fuck are y'all doing? What the?
Sitting here,
bind the fucking hotkey?
I'm sitting here mad at Frodan stealing my item, and I haven't done anything about it. I haven't done anything to fix it. I'm just sitting here, like right clicking like a motherfucker, saying,
like, "Oh my god,
I'm
why
not getting my
can't I?"
item. Why can't I win carousel? Right clicking over and over again.
These guys that are like, why can't I win carousel? But they're
Yeah.
not trying.
Why can't I win carousel?
Why can't I win carousel?
The thing is, the way that I do carousel, I actually win in a decent amount, but the way that I choose carousel, I actually look at 2 items adjacent for like the best item combo that I want. So I go choose one, and then I immediately turn if I miss.
Oh yeah, same.
Usually.
Yeah.
I think-
that's 100% correct for opening carousels. Like you have a backup in mind. You can't just tunnel in one item. You know it.
I think
Once you know it, like the winning on the first item is kind of a little bit RNG, a little bit like getting the right APM spam. But after that, it is purely just like, oh, do I know exactly what I'm going for, and do I go there right after? It's about like the couple frames of timing where you turn to your next item.
that seems like a much better strategy than I do. I play so wide because I can't win opening carousels, so I'm like, oh, cloak start, it's lit. I can play out of this.
Have you
So when I get stuck with cloak, I'm cool with it.
Have you
Cloak
considered
is
double
dope.
binding so you can win an opening carousel?
No.
I actually won it a lot at Zon Cup. Like every game I won opening carousel.
It's
know,
alright, Abby's. We can be non-bind buddies. And, winning carousel is overrated.
Starting cloak, woke.
Starting cloak, woke. I think cloak start is even
Y'all have fun. I'm just
make
gonna get my
BT?
I'm just
You
gonna
make
get my
BT?
fucking
Spark
every single
chalice.
carousel.
What
Then
else
you get
would
like
you
chain.
do?
Last time I started cloak,
Declaw's kind of lit. You see how many
I got,
people are playing AP?
Declaw's actually pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Declaw's actually a good slam. Last time I started cloak, I got dropped cloak chain and just played. I took Spellblade, and then like on 1-4 and just played like Declaw Bramble Vex from All Stage 2, and it was a really good game because I just did a bunch of damage to my Augman, and then Vex was killing everyone with Declaw. I felt pretty good. So Copium, basically, but like not super Copium. That cloak start's not bad. Slightly Copium.
It's kind of copium. What cloak it doesn't become any of my. Well, actually, it's a chalice. Hold up.
QS also a good item.
Chalice
Yeah.
is fake in brand, by the way.
Really?
It's not fake, but Tyr always wants to be blue buff for Shiv, and Cloak always okay. Declaw and QSS is insane on Leona. QSS is actually fucking nuts on Leona right now. Just because everyone's playing. People play TKs, people play like Vi's and toss
I feel like
aside,
less people
singed.
are playing TK nowadays.
I've seen a
Yeah.
ton of TK recently.
Really?
Wait,
I feel like a
really?
lot of people aren't playing Bruisers.
I
I've
think they
seen a
just tech in
lot
random TK.
more of who's that lady? I mean, like a lot more bodyguards going around, a lot more. Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't seen TK that much.
I think there's just a lot of CC in general. Like her not getting Brommed, her not getting like Vi'd, like her not getting CC'd makes her like she casts so often that it's really hard to kill her. I think
mean,
QSS
QSS
Leona's
frontline has
insane.
always been really good. I
Yeah.
sometimes stick QSS on like my Braum and just put Braum up there.
QSS Braum has been so good for so long. Because like old Braum with QSS almost always ulted twice with like one other item on him, and it felt so good. So I don't know. I actually like Cloak a lot. I've really thought out the whole Brand angle. Brand is my new Divine Warwick, basically. I'm down at 20 out of 20. But it is time to move on from this topic into a pretty adjacent topic in Innovation Cup, which is played on this patch. I think we'll see a decent amount of Brand. We'll see because I'm in Innovation Cup.
You two both.
I'm
I kind of wish I was casting Innovation Cup. I also just wish I was casting everything. So
who are the casters?
It is Brodan, Doa, Bryce, Mort, and Lemon Kiwi's hosting, which also
cool.
Good for fucking good for her. Like she's been wanting to really get into doing TFT stuff for a little bit. She subbed for a few fight nights, but that's kind of all she's done in TFT. And I've been talking to her a lot, and she gets her first like big TFT gig.
That's awesome.
People clap.
People clap.
I spent like 2 hours yesterday talking to her about stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are there any so the player list, so how the qualifier worked for Innovation Cup for anyone who didn't know? It was so 4 people who got 4th place or 5th place through 8th place in the final lobby of mid-set got invited directly. So I think it's like Asa, who else got invited directly? Asa,
Robovan, Vile.
There's one more.
Who's the last? Why
I
am I
forget who the
blanking?
last person is.
1
Who the
second.
last person is?
The time
Solus.
Wikipedia. Oh yes.
Solus. Okay.
Oh, Solus.
Yeah. So
those I don't think Solus has played. Has Solus even played the set?
Ark.
I thought Solus was like top close to.
He also I'm pretty if he goes 32nd, he has like a 95% chance of making it. So
yeah, he's in the same spot as me basically.
I can't really find his account.
Actually, Gangly, the official TFT Twitter, they tweeted a video that Gangly made for them, just talking about like math and like point thresholds and what everyone needs. And he like his simulations put the most likely point threshold as 69. Nice.
Cute.
But apparently it could go as low as 51 or as high as 81.
81 would be insane.
81 would be fucking nuts.
Yeah. So those 4 players qualified from mid-set. There's 28 players who qualified from ladder. The top 28 players on ladder were able to join as well, including anyone who's qualified for regionals as well. We're also joined like Setsuko, DQA. They were both able to join. And everyone's duking it out so the top 4 at Innovation Cup get directly invited to regionals, and then beyond that, you get a lot of qualifier points for this event. The baseline that you get for qualifier points for this event is humongous. You get 20 just for getting there, up to 40, I think, is where it cuts off before the top 4. So there are a lot of qualifier points up in the air, and this is where we're going to kind of see everyone's slots get cemented for regionals. The only other qualifier is the Challenger Series in like a week or two, which top 2 I think get invited to top 2 or top 1. I think top 2 get invited to regionals as well. Yeah,
top 2 again.
So most of regionals will be determined after this tournament. There are some that I do recommend watching that video on Twitter. It's really good. Gangly's a god at content creation in general.
59 is the theoretical minimum, thanks, Natures.
59.
I misspoke.
And basically, there's a few players who are very likely to get through no matter what, and the video goes over some of them. Like myself, Solus, Goobums, we all got through Division Cups, so we're all very likely to move on. There's like a very low chance that we don't, but big doomsday event happens, like all the stars and planets align, and the moon turns red, and the eclipse happens, and firebending doesn't work anymore. All that happens, and all four of us could not make it through. But beyond that, though, there's like a lot of spots that are up in the air. Like people like Soju, Iniko. But there's some more big names. Like Robin's up there in the almost guaranteed category. But some big names are like qualifier point wise are pretty close, and they need a good tournament.
Yeah, I think it's.
Woj.
I want to say it's anyone below like. Like Kevin needs to win to move on. Probably. Sphinx made it, and he's kind of same boat. Voidson too. Like some of the bigger names that actually need to just auto qualify. They can't qualify off points. So a lot at stake for getting the regionals.
Yeah, Kevin, are you top? Is it one person or two people that qualify through ladder this set?
I think it's top 2.
Top 2.
You must be up there, right?
We'll see. I'm like, it depends on who makes it and who doesn't.
Is it cumulative from last set, or no?
No.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, what happens. I feel like this entire set has disillusioned me on the whole tourney process in TFT. So it's kind of soured me in a sense to.
That's fair.
The whole process.
Yeah. Although
there's been a lot of like the worst parts of tournaments. I feel like the worst parts of like how tournaments are put together in TFT, which I don't blame you at all for being.
So,
which sucks.
I feel like if I focus too much on that stuff, I won't actually end up enjoying the game myself. So, what happens.
And that kind of sucks that like I mean you're known for being such a historically like good tourney player, especially that like it. And I think tourneys are amazing. There's nothing like the tournament scene of a game, but there have been things that have just gone wrong, and I feel like RamKev has been on the ass end of everything that's gone wrong. So
yes, I totally agree.
yeah,
I feel like the weird thing is that I feel like if everything didn't happen to Kevin, it wouldn't be as obvious that we need to change things, because he's obviously such an amazing player, and like and he's just been like the butt end of all the really shitty happenings basically. So hopefully moving forward we'll be able to fix as many of those as possible. But it really sucks that it just sucks. It's a shitty situation.
Sometimes it really do be like that.
Yeah. And I think Giant Slayer is doing a fantastic job. When problems are coming up, they're doing a good job at fixing them. Mm-hmm. It's just there's a lot of issues.
Yep.
And I think there's a lot of stuff that Giant Slayer themselves are not able to sort of address on their own. But it will hopefully adjust in time. But it's gonna be a fun event overall, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's gonna be so much fun to watch.
Brand 20 out of 20.
Oh my god.
Go 32nd and pray.
Wait, you can't play Brand if I'm rerolling Kassadin though, because I'll probably play Brand.
I'll okay. Yeah, how about this? We move it to double trouble, or we move it to duos, and then we both play both of them.
Yeah.
We both play Brand Kassadin boards.
It's alright if Abby's and I are in the same lobby. I'll reroll Kassadin to increase the Brand odds, but I'll also pick up Brands, and then Abby's can pick up Kassadin's to increase the Brand odds. Wait.
And then we both get dropped the Rune of Allegiance and we send them to each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, business. Okay, business. Yeah, it'll be a fun tournament. I mean, I think the meta will be very reroll heavy, to be honest. I think like Irelia is a very strong 4 cost that will be played a decent. I think as far as AD goes, Irelia will be strong.
Irelia is still absurdly good. Yes.
Yeah, she's really, really good. And then yeah, honestly, I'm expecting a reroll hell. I think a lot of people are holding their techs right now. Like I mean, I was holding the brand tech. Kevin's holding his triple RFC Twitch tech.
Okay, so we're gonna make sure the episode isn't released until after day 1 of innovation.
Yeah, basically.
Hide the VOD.
The thing
Got
is,
the VOD.
all of my tech is there in my match history. Is the thing. The only issue is that you'll never be able to figure out what the tech is. This is what the great part is. I had a game where I played Quinn reroll with Pirates augment. I was so pissed that game. I was so pissed. You know who was in that game? Nubal was in that game. And Nubal cashed out the Merc player who was going to die.
Oh no.
And I went 5th because of that. I was so mad. And then at the end of the game lobby, I typed in chat, reminder that Nubal sold Udyr 3 before. I was beyond triggered. I was like, I was off my rocker that game.
Nothing triggers this man like someone cashing out the Merc player.
I had such a good setup too. I had Challenger Unity. I had Pirates. My Quinn was one-shotting backline and farming 4 gold per ult.
And farting. One-shotting backline and farting and
farting 4 gold per ult. Yeah. I mean, farting, same thing. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh no.
My God.
Oh no. Man, rip Nubal. That...
Nubal is my mortal enemy.
Super deep on Kevin's shit list now, unfortunately. I think people are gonna pull up the Yordle tech. I feel like people are just gonna rip it out in Innovation Cup.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's just like Corki is so.
Yeah, Corki's nasty. He's nasty.
And you know, there's I don't know if anybody saw the tweet that Mort made. You know the bird one, the bird meme.
Oh yeah.
Wait, which one is this?
It was like, let me see if I can find it. Mortdog basically made a tweet about like people complaining about Corki getting buffed, etc., etc. Why are you not like buffing Sivir, blah blah blah. But like, you know, the people that are kind of like complaining do have a point, because Corki is like was strong and is now stronger, and all of the twin shots are like now like kind of gross.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting weekend, and I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to competing. Looking forward to watching VODs. Honestly, I'm down to get out there, want to watch this tournament, and enjoy my weekend. Not really. I'm gonna do my best.
Just go 17th, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, I just realized,
and then come join me on the co-stream, because I'm co-streaming Saturday and Sunday. I'm not co-streaming Friday. I'm busy. But
I think if I can't play top 4, 32 and first is, or 32 and like 5th is no different for me. So in terms of expected value, going last might be the highest expected value.
Wait. Did you have a weekend after?
Yeah, because I could have a weekend.
I think you're gonna kill it, Kevin. I mean, I don't know. I hope we both kill it.
Big rage. We can.
Yeah, I'm down for both of y'all to make regionals. Both of y'all fucking deserve to.
Oh. And you know what Jirachy deserves? To make their big announcement right now.
This isn't that big of an announcement. I'm literally joining these two on Metafy. That's it.
Let's go!
That's the announcement.
Coaching! Woohoo!
Coaching!
Okay, I was fishing for that pivot so hard. I felt like I was trying to hard pivot from like re-rolling Yordles into playing like Kaisa carries. That was the hard. God, my brain's melting.
Oh, you want? Speaking of hard pivots, game I had earlier today, I had an Arcanist start. I built a Spear of Shojin on Ziggs. I hit an Ari on, I want to say 3-3. And by the end of the game, I was playing Scrap Innovator Aurelia.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, don't ask. It was a 4th.
We take that. I mean, that's a good 4th.
Yeah.
And it was actually, no, I hit this Ari on 3-2, and I leveled to 7 on 3-2, and just was like, give me my top 4, please. I will just hammer the lobby into a top 4. Yeah. Super hard pivot. Yeah. Yeah, I'm it's not that big of an announcement. I'm just enjoying these. I've had much bigger announcements.
You have
like
had
that
much
I'm
bigger
casting.
announcements.
Like that I'm actually
true.
casting now. Yeah. But yeah, no, God, I was doing my fucking Metafy profile right before this. I deadass was going over to Appies' page and just like, okay, what shit does Appies have? Is like, okay, what are these sessions? Like, okay, live coaching. Oh, all these like fundamentals things. We'll figure those out later.
So, if anyone's wondering what Metafy is, because some people might not know what Metafy is, it's a coaching website. Hashtag sponsored. Not really.
Hashtag, yeah.
Honestly,
We could get them to sponsor.
We could. That might be a good idea. We should talk to them about sponsoring the podcast because we're all part. Anyways,
anyone want to sponsor us? We're currently unsponsored.
True.
Or if you the viewer want to sponsor us, we're probably getting Patreon up soon.
Oh,
Hashtag
snap.
ad.
Hashtag ad.
True. We can feed Mateo.
We can feed Mateo. I can feed you. You can feed 2 starving grad students and 1K Andy and 1 editor. And yeah, I actually don't know when the Patreon is actually going up because we're figuring out like tax stuff, I guess.
Should hopefully be soonish. I'm working on Mateo soon.
Yeah.
TM. But
yeah.
Anyways,
keep an eye out for a Patreon.
Yes, keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for the Metafy sponsorship. Metafy is a coaching website, which we all use now. Now we can say we all use it. It just makes things really easy. Just you can look up Metafy and then go to the TFT section. You can find all of us. So if you ever want any coaching, then use that because it's super easy to schedule. You can just, you don't have to talk to us at all. Honestly, we have VOD review. There's like VOD review stuff as well. The best part of Metafy is that you can go to my page. You can say, I don't want to talk to this idiot at all. Just send me a VOD. We can have no discussion, and I'll coach the fuck out of you, basically, and not without a single word between us. Isn't that great?
Wait, in all fairness, okay, if some people want that, I'm putting up a like live VOD review option because some people just like this goes to like different learning styles actually. Some people are like, okay, I'm going to like this kind of asynchronous learning, like, oh, you're like typing out stuff, or I'm listening to asynchronous feedback. Some people like the live, like hearing the coach in your ear and being able to ask questions in real time that are going to get answered immediately. Some people are going to like that more. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And now we have a coach on the site who does it. Jirachy does it. Go get coaching from Jirachy. Basically.
Is it a hot take to like say I'm one of the? I don't want to have too much of an ego and say I'm one of the best coaches, but I'm up there because literally I'm trying to be a private teacher for a living.
Jeez.
And like, is coaching not just private teaching? Basically, I think that's a super it's a great comparison. Like coaching is literally just a private lesson. Yeah. It just happens to be on TFT. And I think like actually getting into the title of the podcast, I want to make the most of it. Like literally teaching, like treating it like a private lesson. Like really going there to like get the most out of it. Like you're there to learn. You're not I've had a couple since I posted my premium coaching on the TFT Discord. I've had a couple people message me, but like mostly they just want me to boost them. I'm like, okay,
wait, really?
Sure. You really want me to pay $50 to just get you to diamonds, and that's it? And literally just backseat you, put no explanation into the thought process at all. And that just seems like a waste. When you can put in about the same amount of effort, actually learn something, and get to like master or even higher.
It's the
It's
the
true.
age old teach someone to fish or give them a fish.
Yeah,
Thing,
I'd
right?
much rather teach someone to fish and I'd rather give them a fishing rod and teach them how to fish. There we go. But teaching teach a man how to fish without giving them a fishing rod. Just teach them how to just dive in and just fucking
Just teach me how to
freeform it.
spearfish. Fuck it. That's
Fuck
kind
it.
of that's kind of metal.
Spearfish with no spear. Yeah, exactly. And there's gonna be a lot of chat interaction for this episode, but think adult learning principles will carry over immensely. Yes, they do a lot. I've actually taken I was a music ed major for 2 years. I was only a music ed major for 2 years because of complications with the head of the department. Spoiler, he was transphobic. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh god.
But like I learned a decent amount about like pedagogy, and I'm gonna be like taking more pedagogy courses for grad school, and a lot of that applies to TFT. A lot of a lot of asking questions. I feel if that's something you can actually look out for in a coach, like see how much they're actually trying to get you to think rather than just spouting information at you. Like there's something to be said about like, oh, I'm just giving you some information. Like it's a bit of a lecture. But a good coach really does like they get their students to think in one way or another.
For sure.
And that when a student thinks like they go through some of the thought process themselves and you're guiding them along, that helps them retain the information way better than you just saying things at them and they do it once and then they forget it.
Yeah. I think so on the topic of TFT coaching, I think there are two big genres of coaching in TFT. Or rather, well, this is one way to look at it, at least. One is meta stuff, like how to understand like what's good right now, how to play around it, learning lines and stuff. And the other one is fundamentals stuff, right? And I think it's very important when you approach coaching to understand what's going to be the best for you. For example, if you're, a platinum, gold, diamond, whatever player, it's going to be a lot more beneficial for you to get a coaching that is much more based on like fundamentals and on, hey, how do you make your thought process better? How do you make your streaming better? How do you optimize everything? Rather than like, what is good right now? What is, what's broken? How do you play around this line, this line, this line? I think that kind of coaching is really good for like a challenger player can coach another challenger player, and top like rank 2 can coach rank 1 if they understand a line for a comp better than them, right? And that's a very different kind of coaching, I think, than what at least Jirachy and I'm not too familiar with Kevin's coaching, but at least what Jirachy and I provide on Metafy. And I think it's something that isn't really done enough in TFT because coaching is a very valuable resource when you're getting into the game because it's so easy to run into a wall and just have no fucking idea how to move forward. It's so easy. I think. Sorry, go ahead.
I think. Oh yeah, go ahead, Jirachy.
Oh yeah, for high level players that are prepping for a tournament, it's going to be all meta coaching because you're like, okay, I have whatever my fundamental set is. I need to just optimize it. I need to optimize what I'm playing around that and figure that out immediately. Versus like, yeah, most of the time I try to do just fundamental coaching. Like I was coaching Asa a little bit earlier today, and I was on meta stuff because I was prepping for Innovation Cup. But when Asa dropped by one of my coaching streams in set 5.5, like it was just fundamental stuff there. And I'm of the opinion like unless you are a high level player prepping for a tournament, it should be a lot of fundamental stuff. And there's a thing I picked up in one of my music ed classes about like spiral learning. And it's just you revisit concepts over and over, but you just build on them. And I feel like that applies to TFT fundamentals. Like, okay, there's like the most basic of roll time. Like for one example, there's the most basic of roll timings and level timings. Now let's expand on that. Like what are some aggressive level and roll timings? Now let's expand on that further. What are some like really aggressive or like we're gonna scale back a bit and see when I can greed out these level timings. Then there's the like super niche roll timings where okay, 2-5 is it actually worth it to roll here? It's the same fundamental, but and you're working on other stuff, but you're just it's a spy roll, and you're revisiting the same concepts, but just building and making them more advanced. And I think at every level of this game, there's that you can build on fundamentals. Rank 1 Setsuko right now, it's stupid niche and like super high level, but there's still fundamental stuff he can build on to get better.
Yeah. Kevin, were you going to say something earlier, or?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I mean, like when I do coaching, I think I legitimately only talk about fundamentals. That's like the only thing I will talk about. And this probably is because of like who I am as a player, because I think that unless there's some overly centralizing meta, I hate the idea of having somebody like overly rely on something, or I mean that's the main thing, and like it's just the way that I play. I do like refuse to play the same combo over and over again
Yeah.
because it just like I feel like my
Well,
attention span isn't
there is
there.
something to be said about using the same comp to learn fundamentals, though.
Yeah, and this is the
yeah.
thing, right? Because like before, I would sort of like when I was really early in like coaching people in TFT, I feel like I was trying to get people to sort of play the game that I played. And this was like very early on. I was trying to get people to understand the game in a way that I understood. And this is the thing, right? Because when I first started coaching people, and it was all like it was all just live sessions, right? It was just me telling people there's a coaching command actually in my chat. Let me see if this is. Nope, that's not it.
Oh my god.
Oh, there we go. So if anybody like for those that can't see Twitch chat, and that's a lot of people seeing this recording.
That's literally everyone seeing a recording.
I coached my mod once. He went 8-8, 7-8 over the course of 4 games of me coaching them. We have a Twitch emote on my channel. It's RamKev Coaching, and it's just an 8th icon. But here's the thing, right? It's sort of like during those times, it was more so like because I kept on thinking like, okay, people have these fundamentals, just like sort of refine it, but that's not really like a starting point. So when I sort of talk to people now about like how do they get better, I actually say like the first thing that you have to do is sort of like you have to master the fundamentals and how you think about like the game. So that might even involve just playing one comp. Because I actually was telling afterwards when I was talking to Dot about this, I was saying, okay, like this was like a few months afterwards, but I was like, okay, actually, what you really have to do is just make sure that you're strong enough with like, for example, one comp where you can get to that point and then move on from there. But it was like a learning process for me because I was sort of in the mindset that, oh yeah, everybody can just do what I do as long as I tell them you can do this in this situation. But in actuality, it's more so about, I think that the best kind of knowledge that you can impart in coaching is how they can go learn for themselves.
Yes.
That's probably like in terms of, it's not a game fundamental, right? It's not really like a in-game fundamental type skill. It's more so a it's something that you can take away with you, not only just for TFT but for a lot of other things, right? I feel like nowadays the most effective way is to tell people like what are the things that they should be looking for? How do you find things that you can improve on, right? How do you pay attention? Like for TFT example, I think that I tell a lot of people when I'm coaching them, you want to be able to pinpoint where the value on your board is, right? And that's sort of like a very meta concept, but like, focusing on where your items are, what units have your items, and how you enable those items is one of the things that I really like to talk about in terms of like fundamental strategy of the game, but it's really more so of like a learning process, right? Because if you can't pinpoint that, and if you can't do that on your own, then you're probably not gonna what's the word that I'm looking for? Retain too much information, right? You're not gonna be able to go on from that session and improve as a player.
I think one of the hardest things about TFT and getting better at it, right? Because in any game, the process of getting better is like hitting a wall and then getting over the wall, right? But I feel like in TFT, and this is probably true for any like variance heavy game or variance based game, is that when you hit that wall, it's not just, you know, I can't hit my shots. You know, in Valorant, my aim sucks. I can't hit the broadside of a barn. I need to practice my aim. It's not that necessarily. It's understanding when like where you can control another part of the game. Understanding something that is not necessarily obvious, right? So it's saying that okay, this actually wasn't due to variances, it was because I set myself up poorly for this spot. And those are the kind of walls that you find in games like TFT that are really hard to overcome. Sometimes, you know, not everyone is good at because not only do you have to overcome the wall, you have to figure out what the wall is in the first place. It's like you're getting to this wall, you have no idea what it looks like, but you have to jump over. You have no idea how tall it is. You have no idea how to scale it. And figuring out how to get over it is the first step, and then getting over it is a whole another issue, right? And that's what's really hard about getting good at TFT is that it's so like people will just not be able to identify that is how you get better at TFT. They'll look at other games and say, okay, or like in Smash, and it's just true in Smash too. But you know, at least at a beginner level, like it's okay. I can't short hop. I can get better at short hopping. Or melee, let's say. I can't L canceling. You get better at L canceling. You get better at all your tech skill, and you go from there, right? And then you get a neutral, and that's a little bit more involved and closer to what is TFT probably. But it like TFT, like the walls you meet getting better at the game start becoming like that very early on in the process. You know, once you get to like Diamond, a lot of the walls you have to get over are ones that you have to spend a lot of time and effort or just like really analyze to figure out like what the hell it's made out of. Like, well, what is this wall I need to get over? What is this next point of the game that I can get better at? Because it's not as obvious as I need to have my L cancels, or as obvious as I need to have my shots, or you know, like my map awareness sucks or anything. It's like, okay, every single game I am running out of money, or every single game I am dying at the like stage 4, and I can't figure out what's going wrong. And it's the skill to first pinpoint what is going wrong, like what part of the game are you not controlling that you can, and then once you figure out what is going wrong and where things are going wrong, it's figuring out how to make that better. So there's like two big parts to every hurdle in getting better at a game like TFT, which is why it's so hard and why I think coaching is like a really positive thing. Well, I don't think I'm a good TFT player naturally, right? I don't think I'm like an auto chess legend who just was born and was like, fuck it, I can move my units at a billion APM, and I know I can see the future. And
okay, and, I have the hands, and that's it. I know this is like I'm like, okay, this is getting brought up because I'm in call. I'm not really either. I naturally have the hands, and that's it. I do not naturally have the brain for this game. Trust me, it takes a lot of reps.
I think there are people who do have a brain for this game naturally. I don't think I'm one of them. For example, I think there are a lot of good players who are not one of those people. But what I am really good at is I'm good at learning, right? I'm good at figuring out why I suck at things. And that's why I got better at TFT. And that's something that is like it's a very, very critical skill to have in a game like TFT, is that if you can figure out why you suck, or you can figure out like what you're taking for granted, then you can get better. And that's something that coaching is really helpful with, because I think a good coaching session will not only identify, you know, what is it that's going wrong and how to get over it, but it helps you identify how to see things like that. So getting coached, getting coached by a good coach, you know, over in getting over one hurdle with that coaching should lend itself to them being able to figure out, to the person getting coached should lend itself to them being able to figure out the next hurdle more easily, right? They should say, okay, this is the thought process for how the coach helped me approach the first hurdle, and identify it. And one of the things I always say is like try to figure out where the game starts to feel bad, right? When the game starts to feel doomed, because everyone has that feeling where like, oh shit, I just rolled 30 gold and my game's over, right?
When you roll on 2-1 for allowing, you
Yeah.
miss, and then you roll again on 2-2 for allowing and miss, and then you decide to FF at 3-2.
And so if you can identify and really focus on like when the game starts feeling really bad, when you start to intuitively feel like the game is going wrong, then you can more easily get over any hurdle that comes over the higher you get. Let's say you feel really good on stage 5 until you hit like masters, and then you're like, okay, my stage 5 feels weak, and then you're like, then because you can identify their stage 5 feels weak, you can then figure out what on stage 5 is happening, and whether it's something earlier in the game that you were doing wrong that was setting your stage 5 up poorly, stuff like that, right? And that's what really good coaching will get to, is it will not only teach you how to overcome any certain wall, it'll teach you how to like approach walls in general, and it'll really open up open up people's eyes on how you get better at TFT, because it's not as simple as hit your shots, get better map awareness, etc., etc. It's
better rolls, roll better.
Yeah, roll better.
Your shops aren't looking that great right now. You should try changing your RNG.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I think like one big thing, because even outside of coach, like people will come into streams, right, and they'll be like, "Why am I hard stuck?" And this relates to coaching in the sense that like, well, there's a reason. The reason why you're hard stuck is because you're coming to somebody asking to improve, and you're asking them, why am I not improving, right? Whereas I feel like the most important thing is to say, this is what needs to be improved. How do I improve that? And it's being able to pinpoint that and then being able to act on it. And I think coaching is great for both of those, because sometimes you won't be able to figure out what the problems are. So one, somebody might be able to come in and be like, oh, well, this is the issue. This is how you can act on it. But I think like just as a base, it's really important to realize that you kind of have to be taking that focused look at how to improve and how to get better at the game. Because if if your first instinct to improving is to ask somebody why you're not improving, it sort of suggests that that's probably wise, because you kind of have to take this focused look at where the gaps in your gameplay are and how you can fix those gaps, right? And sometimes you can't do it on your own, right? Sometimes you can't do that just based off of your own sort of intuition. And if that's the case, it's good to have, a second eye, second perspective to really see what's happening, right?
Yeah, I think there's no shame at all in hitting a wall and really thinking through it. I think when you decide to get coaching should be when you hit a wall and you've thought through it and you can't figure out what's going on, right? When you've approached it, you've felt around, you've looked, you've thought of everything you can, and you still don't know. Then you get a second set of eyes on it. Someone who's been hit that wall before and knows how to get over it. I think not only like getting over the wall is one thing, but learning or like getting the perspective on like how to approach a wall like that is, again, one of the key parts of coaching that makes it so valuable, particularly in TFT, because it's a game where it's not obvious how to get better.
And everyone's going to hit walls. It's inevitable. Wait, everyone in this call has hit a wall, multiple walls in their TFT career, and like I've hit a wall at fucking diamond to master in set 2. Like I couldn't get past fucking diamond. I had no idea what I was doing wrong. And then I just got better. I wasn't even getting coaching. I was getting better, but I was hitting a wall. So like when you hit a wall and you need that second set of eyes, yes. Also everything though goes back to just being a good student. Like the people that learn the most are the people who like are the best students from the best teachers. It goes both ways. Like we can give you all the best information in the world, and if you're not willing to absorb that and really listen and be in the right headspace to learn, then you're wasting everyone's time. You're wasting money. So
yeah, I
Yeah.
think again, there's absolutely no shame, and I mean, all of us have hit walls, and not everyone's gonna need someone to help them overcome that. But like if you don't, especially if you don't have the time to invest, you don't have the time to invest and think through yourself and need some more tools for your tool bag. That's when you approach coaching. It's not because
I
your heart's stuck and you're like, oh God, I have no idea what I'm doing wrong. I haven't thought about it at all, but I'm gonna go in this person's chat and say, why am I heart stuck? And then get coaching.
Yeah. Although I feel like pretty much no matter what level you're at, anyone can benefit from just one coaching session. And like
Yes.
all of us have seen so many times, like we coach a person for 1 hour, they come back and they're like, "So I climbed 700 LP. Thank you." Even if you're not at a wall and you're just like, I want to get better. I want to get a lot better. Get hashtag ad, but like just get one coaching session. Sometimes that's all you need. Some people will benefit from coming back for repeat sessions, but for a lot of people, like at the bare minimum, one will help a lot. Just you spend $50, you give us an hour of your time, you learn infinite. And beyond that's just going to expand. You're not going to learn infinite from the second session because you've already learned infinite from the first one. But it it's if you're in the right headspace to receive coaching, it's never a bad time.
Yep. Yeah. So I think there's I think there's some kind of stigma behind coaching in general, where people are like, "Oh, I feel like I must be bad at the game if I need coaching, or I must not. Like, I'll never be a top player if I get if I need coaching because I can't get over this wall myself." That's not a way to look at it. I think, uh, getting some insight on how to get better is always going to be valuable. And it doesn't mean that you're any worse than anyone else, right? If you get coached, I think there's a lot of pride that people have, even at all levels of the game. Like I'm sure someone in gold is like, I want to get coaching because I'm super fucking good at the game. Not that they aren't, maybe they are.
All levels in a lot of things. This
Yes,
isn't
this is
even
not
just
just
a
TFT.
TFT thing. Like literally
Yeah.
every field, there's going to be people who are like, I'm good. I do my own thing. I see
This
this
is
in
a little
music.
bit awkward because I've never been coached before.
To be fair, I haven't either.
Yeah,
Not that
To be
but
fair,
I
you
actually
I've
shouldn't.
gotten a shit ton of coaching.
I
I
used to be back when I was starting TFT. I was like, should I do coaching? Should I get coaching? And I was just like, nah, I'll just ram my head into a bunch of games and see what happens.
I mean, to be fair,
But
I did a similar thing. My coaching was like
yeah.
3 a.m. on a Discord call with people who are better than me, my friends who are better than
Hmm.
me, and then again, I think there are people like that who will figure things out themselves,
Yeah, but
but it's not everyone, and you shouldn't
it's
be
like
ashamed if that's not
everybody
you.
learns differently,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
So
Rule number one of teaching: everyone learns differently.
you
Yep.
know, some things work, things are not gonna work the same for everybody. So
I
you
think
know,
the thing is, and Kevin, you can tell me if you did this a lot at the beginning of your TFT career as well. So I think so I didn't pay for coaching, but I was really really good when I watched streams, and this is a way to get better as well. If you don't want to pay for coaching, if you can watch a stream and you can use that as a really in depth learning experience, like you know what to pick apart, you know how to get better because you watch someone better than you play. Uh,
hmm
then that's a solid alternative. But
yeah,
I don't think
yeah. I
everyone can
mean,
do that. I did that a ton. I watched Pulp the
I
GV8
used to
religiously.
watch GV8 in class. I would have my phone off on the side. I would have GV8 stream there, and I would not be paying attention in class because you
Class.
know, sometimes it really do be like that.
GV8 was putting on class.
He was putting on a class exactly.
Sheesh.
And yeah, I mean, partially like, if you can watch somebody better than you. The difference there is like, sometimes some people can't pick up on everything. You won't be able to, if it's just not the way that you can sort of learn. If just watching a stream, you might not be able to retain all of that information or really understand what's going on. Then it might be necessary to have somebody sort of explain it to you more in depth, right? And it just kind of depends, right? There are various ways to learn. several avenues, and some ways work more than others.
Yeah, I think again, it's you can never emphasize enough as well how you should never be ashamed if you need coaching, or if you feel like you can't, if you can't watch a stream and if you can't watch a stream and take a bunch from it, like don't chat right now. Like if you can't watch a streamer and then take a bunch of stuff from that, that doesn't mean you're bad at the game. It doesn't mean you're any worse than someone who can, like Kevin and I. I'm sure I can't do 1,000 things that you can in terms of getting better. Right? I'm sure if I get coached by someone, I think there's a good chance that I would take less from it than someone else. I feel like I'm better at learning when I just watch someone and then kind of come to conclusions myself. But I mean, I think a lot of it is understanding what kind of learner you are. And coming to terms with that is really big. And then, because like I may be good at learning one way, but I'm terrible at learning another way. And I know that. And that's why I got good at TFT, because I knew that and I learned the way I knew I could learn. So if you know that you're someone who learns really well from being taught by someone else, then do that. Do that.
And people learn differently, but they also learn better from certain people. Like all of us in this call, like all of us are good coaches. I coach someone, they might not learn a damn thing, and they go to Appies and they learn infinite just because like they mesh better with Appies' teaching style. And that's what I'm completely okay with that. Like I know my style is not for literally everyone. These two know that as well. Like, and there's some people Appies would coach who would not learn a fucking thing, and then they come to me and they're like, oh, and then like mind explosion. It's people learn in different ways, and people learn differently from different people. I've had some teachers like I don't learn that much from just because their style just doesn't quite do it. And other teachers I learn infinite from. My current trombone teacher, I learn infinite from him. And there's not many people that I will be learning this much from.
Oh yeah.
My favorite teacher is Wikipedia.
Oh my god.
So we can do some questions. We can do some questions. We can do this quick with this first one really quick. That's from Cloud. What color do Jirachy and Appies think RamKev should dye his hair? Purple, obviously. Or blue, and you can be our powder.
Wait, I thought pink would be matching.
Pink. No, why did I say purple? I meant pink.
Pink. Just do pink.
Pink.
Yeah.
Pink. Just be pink.
I don't know if I'll be able to dye my hair, but I might be able to get a wig.
Dye it, Peepo Riot.
I'm down. Shave your head, then get a wig. It is basically your hair.
True.
Oh
right?
God,
Right.
That looks so bad.
So Faye asked, how do you identify if you're able to add value by coaching people? Do you just kind of dive in, or is there some other way to identify that? Do you want to start, Jirachy?
I think I kind of evaluate by I ask them a lot of stuff. It's part of a basis for like, okay, just figuring them out as a player and knowing like how I can tailor my session to them. One of the questions I ask everyone is, are you more comfortable on AD, AP, or either? And depending on the answer, I can tailor some, not everything, but like whenever I have to slip in some meta specific stuff, like what's the best AP item to start on carousel at that given patch, you get some of that, but also like some of what you teach them actually does change a bit. And especially if the answer is I'm comfortable on either tree, then you get to work. And then, but also on knowing some level, just knowing a person's rank, you already know like you can add value. If anyone below, actually literally any rank, you know there's value to be had. Just what rank they are changes the value you think you're adding. For someone in diamond, I'm like, okay, well, there's like a little bit lower on the spiral, but I'm just identifying I'm identifying what they need and what value I need to give them. If Setsuko fucking hits me up for coaching, then what I'm giving him drastically changes. And the value I think I can give him and how I'm evaluating that also drastically changes. You don't really evaluate how much value you can give to someone. You're evaluating what value you
what they need. Yeah, I think that's the big key. Yes. You're evaluating what they need, and that's how you be an effective coach. And I think it comes in all sorts of forms. You know, like you said, based on rank is a big one. Talking to them based on play style, what do they need to move forward. Watching them play is obviously the best way to figure out what they need. The reason why I don't coach during a game and I coach after a game is I want to figure out how they play first before I coach them. Right? That's why a lot of you is really good as well. So yeah, just understanding why they or what they need, not why they need, what they need.
Yeah, and another big thing is like pinpointing systemic issues. So one thing that I actually enjoy doing is just going through the LoL chess, just seeing the games played, because if you can sort of look at the LoL chess and see like problems, right? Just things where like as a coach, if I can go through the LoL chess and see like, okay, this board bought forward and I can see why. And you know, obviously it's going to be a bit more difficult the higher you go, but like even you know, back in set 4, I actually coached one of my mods, Ori, who was GM at the time, and I was like, or it wasn't really coaching, I was just doing one of my like, I have a point reward that's like flame your LoL chess, and I was going through Ori's LoL chess, and I was like, well, you know, one thing that seems to be happening here is that you don't prioritize damage on the carries, right? So all of the, you know, probably what was happening is like a lot of item slam, but in the end game, just like your carries aren't doing enough damage. So I told Ori this, and then like immediately afterwards, Ori went like from GM to challenger, just like that. And it's sort of like, if you can sort of see where the systemic issues are, I think it's nice. That's why I really like looking at LoL chess like beforehand and seeing like where I can figure out what the what are some potential problems. You know, what might be a root cause of some kind of difficulty in the game.
And you want to speak to different teaching styles? Kevin just spent a minute talking about LoL chess. I am garbage at doing LoL chess reviews. I have a LoL chess review channel point reward, and every time someone redeems it, I'm just like, seems fine. I don't know. Because that's not my teaching style. And that's fine.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's been pretty much everything about coaching. I mean, I think it's very valuable. People undervalue it. People feel very hesitant to get it because there's like a stigma attached to it, right? They feel like if they get coached, then you can't be a good player if you get coached, is I think the stigma. But that's not true at all. You know, getting coached is a very valuable thing. So don't take it for granted that it's available, basically. And get some coaching from Jirachy. They just got on Metafy. Do it. That's not free, but you know, do it. I was gonna say it's free. It's not free.
Well, anyways. they are setting me up with the like giveaway for free coaching sessions.
It is free. Go get
that. Though, if you win the giveaway, those are $3.99.
Get them.
Go
get them. Maybe we'll have a link for that in the description of the. We should. Yeah, we should. We can probably get that set up. If you
once it won't be at first, but within a few days, once I get it all figured out.
So maybe next episode we'll have that in the in the episode. All right. Well, on that note, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you so much, Jirachy and RamKev, for being great co-hosts as always. I've been SpicyAppies. Mateo's with Mateo, being the producer. One day you can have Mateo on as our guest. That'd be so fun.
I'm down. Wait, that would be amazing.
Talk about how to make a podcast.
Wait, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in the works.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Okay.
Someone write it down.
Somebody get that.
That's not a next week thing. That's a we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. But until next week, thank you so much for listening, watching. Make sure to subscribe, follow, stalk us on all media
like,
platforms.
comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
And sponsor us.
And eventually go subscribe to our Patreon. I've been RamKev.
Woo-hoo. And I've been Jirachy.
And I've been SpicyAppies.
Oh, God. See everyone next week. Bye-bye. Goodbye.